everyone, welcome back to Anmoll Astrology channel. Now I guess this is going to be the most awaited video for every one of you because this transit is going to be, this retrogration indeed is going to be a very important one. And Saturn is basically going to go retrograde on 30th of June. We will go into the technicalities, but want you guys to know that what retrogration means. There's a simple meaning to retrogration. Do not get yourself confused with different definitions of retrogration because there are a lot out there, and always I've seen many of you commenting on my videos that what does retrogration mean? Is it about this house? Is it about opposite house? I want to clear each and everything in this video. First of all, retrogration simply means that a planet is moving forward. Forward is the motion, right? So it is moving forward. It just stops at a place and it reverses its motions. What happens is it starts moving backward. Now, many a times this has happened that Saturn has changed signs while moving backward. So the karma was actually related to the two signs at that point of time. But this year, the transit that is going to happen on June 30th, Saturn is not going to go retrograde in another sign because this particular retrogration is going to happen at 25 degrees 14 minutes of Purva Bhadrapada in the sign of Aquarius. It's going to be retrograde for 139 days, but it is not going to go towards in the sign of Capricorn. It is going to stay in the sign of Aquarius only. So retrogration just means that there is retrospection of the past. It means that there is some unfinished karma that has left behind by that particular planet, and now he needs to reverse his motion. He needs to look back and complete that karma and then move forward. Like, for example, it's a very understandable and easy example. Suppose you're going somewhere and just you remember, you got to know that you forgot your keys. What you will do? You'll go back into your home, you'll grab the keys, and then you'll move ahead wherever you want to go. Similar is the thing with retrogration with a planet. Saturn has transited the whole of Aquarius, but then it remembers that, oh, this was something I need to do. This was some lesson I needed to give it to the individual, to the native, but I forgot to do that. So let's now go back, check the portly of their karma again and give them that karma and then move ahead. So this is the basic story which is going to happen with this Saturn retrograde. Now you need to remember one thing. When this Saturn is going retrograde, the focus is going to shift on the previous house, on the placement of Saturn also, because it is at 25 degrees. So it is, although it is looking backward, it is also viewing the remaining part of the Aquarius sign, the 1 to 25 degrees of Aquarius sign, and of course also the Capricorn sign. So you would see the effects of the previous house and also the sign which is opposite to Saturn, which means the sign of Leo is also going to receive a lot of effects. Why the sign of Leo? That's because when a planet goes into retrogration motion, it becomes more closer to the earth. That's why the effects of that particular planet are at its peak. So Saturn going retrograde means that the effects that Saturn does, the qualities of Saturn are going to intensify within itself. And since it is going to go closer towards the earth, it is going to also affect the opposite sign, and it is also going to affect people in general with maximum intensity, or you can say double the intensity. Also, there's another thing that is about Saturn retrograde, that when Saturn goes retrograde, Saturn is a very slow moving planet. It might gives you results with a lot of hard work and with slow motion. But you will see there will be points within this particular retrogration transit that this Saturn is going to give its result quickly. So when this retrogration is going to be there, Saturn is going to make you pay off your karmas which are undone, unfinished, and then it is going to give you the results of the upcoming things in your life. So it's like the hard work that you have put in since the beginning of this year, and rather I would say since the beginning of last year, when Saturn entered in the sign of Aquarius, when it crossed the sign of Capricorn and entered in the sign of Aquarius. So whatsoever hard work you have put in till now, with this placement of Saturn, you're going to get fruits of that particular hard work. But after a major event, a blast of something, there's going to be a sudden event that is going to initiate the fruits of your karma. So we will come to each and every ascendant so as to discuss this. But before that, I just need to first tell you all the technicalities. So on June 30th, 2024, during the midnight, Saturn is going to transit into the sign. Saturn is going to go retrograde. This retrogration is going to be there for 139 days till November 15th, 2024. Saturn is going to stay static at the degrees in which it is going to go retrograde, which is 25 degrees 14 minutes Purva Bhadrapada. Purva Bhadrapada, a very technical nakshatra which is ruled by the planet Jupiter. That's why when we would discuss the predictions for ascendants, we are going to take the placement of Jupiter as well. And I'm going to actually do that over my laptop. Then for 8 days, this particular planet Saturn is going to stay at a static motion. 8 days are going to start from 26th of June till 3rd of July. Saturn is going to remain at 25 degrees 14 minutes. And that is the static time where there can be two results that you might see happening. The two results are going to be, first, that it would either one of them you are going to experience. Either it is going to give you intense events within these 8 days, or it will actually give, it will stay totally static and give nothing, just fixed events. No change, no transformation, no change at all. Another thing that you need to know is that Jupiter at this time is going to be in the sign of Taurus and in the nakshatra of Rohini. That's why there are 3 signs that are going to get affected the most. The first one, the sign of Leo. Why? Because 7th aspect of retrograde Saturn is going to be on the sign of Leo. Second one will be Scorpio, because the 10th aspect of retrograde Saturn is going to be on Scorpio, and also the 7th aspect of direct Jupiter is going to be on Scorpio. Third would be the sign of Capricorn, because Saturn is going retrograde and it is going to activate the results of the sign of Capricorn. There is going to be pending and unfinished karma and events that are yet to be held in regards of the sign of Capricorn, which needs to happen now. That's why these 3 houses or these 3 signs are going to receive the maximum amount of results. Another thing you need to understand is that people who already have Saturn retrograde within their natal chart, they are going to feel 100% effect of this retrogration, whereas other people might feel just 50 to 60% effect of it. Second point, the people who are going through Saturn Mahadasha, Antardasha or Pratyantardasha during these 139 days, those people are also going to experience the events of Saturn retrogration at the most. So now let's dive into the ascendants. So if you have already seen my video for Venus transit in Ardra, you might know already that we need to first analyze the muhurat chart of any planet going into any transit or retrogration. Saturn is actually going retrograde at 12 midnight 35 minutes of 30th June, right? So I just opened a muhurta chart for that particular time. And now from this, we are going to know what is going to be the theme of this retrogration. So this retrogration is concerned about the 12th house matters because Saturn is retrograde in the 12th house at the muhurta time. Saturn going retrograde in the 12th house means it is going to intensify the qualities of the 12th house. There are going to be a lot of expenses for it's everyone, but out of that expenses there are going to be a lot of recognition and success which is going to come around. That's because the opposition sign definitely is going to get activated. Now, let's just take it as the Muhurta chart and let's just take it as the predictions for a Pisces ascendant, right? So Saturn going retrograde in the 12th house means that the focus is going to be on the 12th house matters. Now remember, 12th house is not just about spirituality, it is also about imagination, one's subconscious mind. So people for these 139 days would be very actively participating, obsessively rather, because Moon and Rahu is in the ascendant, obsessively participating in imagination, in technology, knowledge. That knowledge can be spiritual in nature, that knowledge can be creative in nature, but there's going to be imaginations. People are going to try to put their imagination into some work, into some action. That's because Mars is in the second house. So the focus for this retrogression, for most of the people, this focus or the focus of this particular retrogression is actually going to be about one's career and not relationships. For another almost, you can say, 5 months, you might not see a lot of things, a lot of talks going around in your surroundings about relationships. Rather, you would see a lot of talks in your surroundings about one's career. People would want to get recognized for their creativity, for their abilities, for their subconscious, not subconscious, for their inner inbuilt abilities, because 12th house is actually your hidden abilities with which you are born. That's your natural talents. So you would see people, a lot of natural talents of individuals will surface and they would try to project it, transform it into some finished product so as to get recognized. That recognition is going to come in through social media most prominently, and also through other means otherwise. That's because Jupiter is in the third. So it's like a lot of teachings, lot of learnings online, lot of research, lot of creative endeavors that people are going to take forward. Then Sun and Venus is in the fourth house. That means dominance over home or dominance over your personal space. This actually also means, again, creativity. Most of the people are going to choose their free time so as to do something creative, follow a creative passion of theirs. See, creativity is just not about artistic talents. It's creativity nowadays is in everything. People speak, even public speaking involves creativity. Even making softwares is creativity. Makeup is creativity. Doing anything is creativity. Just drawing something, drawing something on a desktop is also creativity, right? So it's just that people are going to obsessively follow what their heart says because Sun and Venus is in the fourth house. People are going to look for, you know, multiple sources to present their talents. Okay, then Mercury is in the fifth house. Intelligence, that's intelligence, but you need to again see it is in the sign of Cancer. So one's decision in this retrogression is going to be very much affected by one's emotions. It's not mind, but it is indeed emotions which is going to initiate your intelligence or affect your intellect. And you would feel very motivated to take actions during this time, because Mars is in a fiery sign during this Muhurta chart, and it is throwing its fourth aspect towards Mercury. And one more thing I see as a part of this whole chart, this whole Muhurta chart, is that people are going to feel very frustrated with their jobs, if anyone is doing job, or their respective professions. That is going to lead them to opt for something like a new source of income or something as a side hustle, right? So this is something that you will see happening for everyone around the universe right now, for these 139 days, for next 5 months. And also, this is the prediction for a Pisces ascendant also. Pisces ascendant people going through major transformation right now. Now let's just connect the points that I discussed earlier and then see what predictions are going to be. So this house, their 11th house, is going to get activated because of Saturn retrograde, because there is some unfinished karma that has to be taken into consideration, which will happen, and then it is going to move forward. That means that there is some work that you have not been recognized for. There has been some action you have done for which you have not been recognized. Now you would receive that recognition. Your hard work is going to get paid off. Then, since Saturn is in retrogression in the 12th house, it can actually, it would not rather initiate a travel. It would initiate the travel, but by the end of this year almost. But first, by going retrograde, it is going to basically uh, fast forward the process of travel. Maybe your visa was stuck. Maybe you're not getting the intimation for your PR. Maybe your file is in the bundle from a long time, but it is not coming at surface, and you are not getting any intimation of getting a PR or getting a visa. Now that is going to take place. That is going to get fast forward. So that recognition, that gain which was stuck there, is going to happen, because the sign of Scorpio, the ninth house, is going to get activated highly, and also the sign of Leo, sixth house, the house of filing of some legal things, or some legal battles even, or filing of some visa, is getting activated. Also, be very careful with your actions. This is especially for Pisces ascendant, because right now you are very high on emotions, very high on emotions, and you might be a part of rift communication with any stranger. So road rage can be there for you. Be careful with that, because that can lead you to some some visit to police station or something like that. So just be careful with road rages, and be careful of your communication. Your communication should not be that adverse. Just see where the place, your surroundings, then only react. Just be careful with these scenarios, right? Because the intensity of your emotions are really high right now. And because of the Saturn retrograde, there can be some unfinished karma that can take place. So there can be some visit to either hospital or either police station at this time. So this is my suggestion, that be careful with your actions, and be careful with whatever communication you're going to have. Okay, so next is the sign of Aries. So this, for the sign of Aries, this transit, this retrogression is happening in the house, in the 11th house. So it is going to activate the 10th house. There can be some promotion that you might have expected, but it did not happen, or it did not surface. There is some recognition that was meant to be there, but it didn't happen. Now it will take surface. Why? Because along with that, Jupiter is in the second house. That means you will get a hold over finances, or you will get an authoritative position at your work, for which you'll have to struggle, and you'll have to actually even get up at during the nights. So the sleep is going to get affected also at that point of time. But this authority is going to prove fruitful for you, for your long term career. So you can expect such things happening. And then Leo sign is in the fifth house. Again, there could be a lot of reading, reading books, reading articles online. So you might want to know about occult science, astrology, and you might be searching online about gaining knowledge through it. And also, you will be looking into something which is some work, some creativity, which will use your imagination and your intellect and knowledge. So you will use these things, you will use your learnings, your curiosity about knowledge, and you'll transfer it into something creative, right? And for that, there is going to be recognition. Also, this means that there is going to be, you should my suggestion for Aries ascendants would be that there is something you should do in respect of society, social service towards the society, because that is going to help your Saturn retrograde to fast forward good results for you. So be active in the society because of this Mars in the ascendant. Be really active towards the society. Be very sporty and spontaneous for each and every activity, and just get involved into the society so as to gain in terms of career also, and in terms of generally in your life. Okay. Next would be the sign of Taurus. So for the sign of Taurus, this retrogression is happening in the 10th house. This means that, and also remember, Mercury is in the third and Jupiter is in the first. You might want to have or gain some knowledge which is going to help you with your career, with your career stability. Maybe right now you're not satisfied with the results you're getting out of your career. So you might want to go for a short course or a short diploma or something which is about knowledge. And then you're going to go towards it and elevate your status within your career, and that is going to actually help you within your career. Also, 10th house and 9th house altogether are the houses of your father and his financial position. So if you are expecting some money, or your father is expecting some money which was actually stuck and you were not able to get it, either if it is a part of your inheritance, then this retrograde Saturn is going to make you deal with it. And after dealing with that particular scenario, you are going to receive its results. Now, what kind of results? That is going to be very much dependent on the Mahadasha, Antardasha you're going through, and your D1 chart also. But considering this particular chart, this Muhurta chart, I can tell that there could be a settlement rather than full receiving everything in full. So if it's about inheritance, if it's about money, there is going to be some compromise, and there's going to be some settlement that is going to be required there because of Mars being in the 12th house. Okay, some part of it can go. You might decide for let it go, some part of it. Okay. So apart from this, the sign of Leo is in the fourth house. So it could also initiate a travel for you people. You guys can decide to get that education or get that, diploma or training at a distance, or this is also a good placement for buying a property. Okay, but you might need the help of your father so as to do it. Next would be Gemini ascendant. So for Gemini ascendant, this retrogression is happening in the ninth house. First of all, it wants to do you to retrospect the shift of residence. Maybe you are at a distance, or you're just planning to go at a distance. Maybe you're planning to shift overseas. So be you would be taken into such a situation where you have to rethink this possibility. Okay, now this time is very much towards educating yourself, and also this time is very spiritual in nature for you as well. Your career would give you the highest of authority, definitely, but there is some transformation which is going to come around within your personal life, which is going to affect both your personal and your professional life. This also tells me that you might have to deal with your inheritance or some insurance money. There are going to be some negotiations and some calculations, budgeting over finances at this point. And there are some lessons, some life learning lessons, which you are going to experience during these 139 days. And out of that experience, you are going to develop into an individual who is going to be very clever with his communication and his encounter within social circle. You might want to gain through your networking circle or through your social circle during this time. Your mind is going to take you there. Your mind is going to make you start thinking like that. Okay, but yes, this time is very much required. It is actually telling me that it requires you to meditate, to have some free time, some personal space of your own, some space where you are isolated and you are just by yourself. That would help you clear your mind, because this time does tell me that there are going to be fluctuations in regards of your career, and those are much needed so as to bring something out of you, bring some talent of yours out of you. Okay, and also no, that's just it. Next would be for the sign of Cancer. So for the sign of Cancer, for Cancer ascendant or Cancer moon, you will see that Saturn retrogration is happening in the 8th house. So your partner, there could be some inheritance issue or insurance money issue or sudden issue that you might have been dealing ever since, I would say, 2024, prominently since 2024, but it could be way before that also. I think maybe 5 years before that also. But I would say not 2024, sorry, 2023. January onwards, there would have been some issue related to inheritance or sudden money that you might have been dealing, right? So now there is some retrospection that you have to do with your partnership. Your partner, your husband or your wife is going to help you with this issue, and you will have to deal with this particular issue right now. So for this time, your partner or your partnership is going to help you to resolve this matter. You will have to deal with someone so as to get it done. Then your second house is going to get highly activated because of Saturn's 7th aspect, retrograde Saturn's 7th aspect. So retrograde Saturn's 7th aspect means there's going to be some support that you're going to get from your family. It could be in the terms of in monetary terms, or it could be otherwise. But there is some gains. Either there is some responsibility that you have to incur towards finances, or it is that you'll gain money or gain financially. Also, the sign of Scorpio is getting activated. There's 10th aspect of Saturn over your 5th house and Jupiter's 7th aspect over your 5th house. That is going to prove good for your children, because things are going to escalate in their life. Some blockages which might have been there, they are going to get filled up now. And also, this also shows that there could be some gains through investments. And these gains can be sudden in nature, but these gains can be very short lived also. So just be careful with that. My suggestion to you will be that you have to be very careful with your decision making power. Since Mercury is there in the ascendant, in the sign of Cancer, will indeed make you take decisions out of emotions. So be a little analytical about whatever decisions you're going to plan to take. Next is going to be the Leo ascendant. So for Leo people, the retrogration is happening in the seventh house. There can be re-encounter in terms of their marriage, partnership, business partnership, or relationship in general. But there's some conflict that was unresolved in respect to partnership or relationships that has to be taken care of now. It can also mean that there would have been some legal case that was stagnant or that was very static for a long period of time, but now it will take your attention. It will grab your attention and you will have to deal with it. Because here your Mercury is going into the 12th, then Moon and Rahu in the 8th. It can be disturbing emotionally. It can make you just, obsessing over things. Now, fourth house, it is activating the fourth house. It can also be there that maybe you are trying to expand your home, you're trying to build a new house, purchase a property. So, that particular process could be a little burdening, but believe me or not, this is going to escalate. This is going to fast forward right now. Okay. Another thing that you will see is that it is activating, it is throwing the seventh aspect within your first house. Now you will receive support of yourself. It is actually only you who can help him or herself with this particular thing. Be it be about relationships, be it be about property purchasing, be it be about some legal matter. But it's you who can help yourself emotionally also and circumstantially also. This also means that you would require to take a lot, take significant care of your health, because if your health can get affected here. You might gain from a female person who is a very authoritative individual. Also this shows me that there's going to be a lot of criticism that you're going to face from people. Everyone with whom you are going to get encountered, with whom you are going to have a conversation, they are going to criticize you somehow. And this criticism is actually going to work for your betterment. So take it as a healthy criticism that you're going to receive. But again, your decisions, take your decisions wisely. Take your decisions with full consideration by thinking each and every pros and cons. Do not remember take decisions which are backed by emotions. Then the sign of Virgo. So for the sign of Virgo, this particular retrogration is happening in the 6th house, and it is going to activate the previous house, which is the 5th house. So there can be resurfacing or of either a legal matter or resurfacing of some competition or enemies that are going to come around. Definitely, you are going to gain, even though this particular retrogration is going to make you take emotional decisions. But you know what? These emotional decisions will still prove to be beneficial for you. And also, this Jupiter in the 9th house, there is going to be some person who's going to guide you with this. Your partner is going to get a little disturbed here because there is Moon and Rahu. There's going to be obsession that either you will reflect towards your partnership and relationship or marriage, or your partner will start reflecting that. They might not even sleep at nights. They might be too much involved into their career and accumulating knowledge, or trying to learn something, trying to accumulate higher knowledge. There can be a lot of secretive actions that might take place because of Mars in the 8th. And remember, it is receiving Saturn's 3rd aspect. So take actions, take decisions, but take them in secrecy. Do not announce them before. Also, some investments can prove out to be good, but some can also prove out to be bad for you. So take decisions wisely when it's about investments, shares, speculation, and even for your children. Next would be for the sign of Libra. So for Libra people, Saturn retrograde is happening in the fifth house. It is activating the fourth house. So maybe you are planning to beautify your home. First of all, it also shows that there would be an opportunity for an individual, especially if you are a female, there is going to be an opportunity of getting impregnated. So pregnancy can be on your cards. There's going to be fluctuations within your career. A lot of decisions are going to be taken in your career, which are going to be backed up by emotions. There can be travel also at the same time, or there can be learnings, a lot of research and learnings that you're going to do in your free time. Then your partner is going to be very much action oriented right now, full of energy right now, right? And since your Jupiter and your Saturn is actually activating the second house, either Libra people are going to get pregnant or they are going to get married during this time. But there is some change that is going to happen in regards of home and home space. Either you are going to go for a construction, or you are going to go for a purchase of vehicle or purchase of a home, or you're going to go, even a office like place can be something you are going to purchase, or it just means that you have to take into consideration some shift of residence at this point, and that's actually quite similar. But your mind is going to be a lot into money matters right now, because Rahu and Moon is in the sixth house. So obsessively, you'll try to just, complete your deadlines, work, and be very calculative with your money matters right now. Okay, there can be some problems. I would say not problems, but there can be some ups and downs within your work environment, especially with your colleagues. They can just feel very heavy on your mind. So take some time off. My suggestion would be just go into meditation, take some time by yourself, or just travel to a isolated place or a pilgrimage like place. You would feel very, very good. Next would be Scorpio ascendant. So for Scorpio people, Saturn retrograde is happening in the fourth house, and it is affecting the fourth and the third house. So your younger sibling, there's going to be something you have to deal with your younger sibling for, right? Along with this, the sign of Scorpio is in the first house, and the sign of Leo is in the 10th house. So I guess there are a lot of changes that you're going to see in your life. Very transformative time for Scorpio individuals. I think we have already actually discussed that, right? So just a second. Yeah. So Scorpio individuals are going to face a lot of transformative time. That's because their first house is getting affected, fourth house is getting affected, seventh house is getting affected with the Jupiter transit, then 10th house is also getting affected because it is the sign of Leo. So all the Kendras are getting affected. This time, there can be some things that you will have to deal with, especially related to your younger sibling or your home environment, or just a property. You have to deal with a property dispute. It could be a property dispute, or it is an action that you are going to take with regards to a property towards your younger sibling or towards a neighbor, even. It is going to be towards a person, definitely. And you know what? Since your Saturn and Jupiter are Kendra to each other, you will be your own advisor during this time. Although your intelligence is going to go at peak, your mind working 24/7. There can be a younger person who's going to guide you with this process. Younger person or a female friend, okay? But yes, there are a lot of things that I can see around work, division of work, maybe, or division of maybe inheritance, property, or just dealing with something related to these matters, right? And it is going to also make you, you know, fulfill your responsibility towards your siblings and towards your spouse or partnership. But I do see that you are going to feel very competitive and very on the go during this time. Now, the sign of Sagittarius. So for them, the retrogression is happening in the third house, activating and affecting the second house. So there is going to be some efforts that you would require to make towards the family and towards income. Income and money is not going to come easy, but definitely for 139 days there you are going to surrounded by money. And actually not money, money matters. Some taking and giving of money, expenditure, providing family with money. Scorpio is in the 12th house. Unnecessary expenditure could be there. Lot of expenses. Sign of Leo in the ninth house. Travels. Travel over expenses over long distance travel, or just simply travel. If you were planning to travel somewhere and it was getting delayed, and if you were planning to go, suppose, overseas for maybe studies, because third house is getting activated and it is activating the ninth house also. So if you were deciding and planning to go for studies or higher education since 2023 and things were not moving, now they would move in the coming 5 months. But there's going to be a lot of struggle. Actually, it would have been since 2023 and maybe beyond that, because Saturn was actually transiting over your, what I consider as the Saraswati of the natal chart. But you see, Mars in the fifth house can make you feel very frustrated and impatient with this particular situation. But since Mercury is in the eighth house, there's going to be a quick change in your residence, and also quick change within whatever you are deciding or you are going to decide to do. So it's not it's so whatever hard work you have put in till now, that is going to get fruits. You are going to get fruits of it. And also especially that is going to be related to money. Since Jupiter is in the sixth house, you'll definitely suppress your competition during this time along with that. But yes, this Jupiter is going to make you take the responsibility of debts. And since Saturn is retrograde, again, it is activating the second house, right? So a lot of responsibility when it's about money matters. Now, the next one is the sign of Capricorn. So for Capricorn individuals, the retrogression is happening in the second house. Second house is about, again, finances, money matters, income, family. Now it is going retrograde. It is affecting your first house. You might have saved a lot of money because of Saturn in the second. You might have worked really, really hard. Capricorn people, Capricorn ascendant or moon, you might have worked really hard and accumulated a lot of money, with not just by working but also by budgeting, by being miser, by saving, trying to save a lot of money. So now you would somehow decide to spend it on yourself. Now somehow you'll be like, I want to enjoy, you know so you would want to do that. Since second house is getting activated, first house is getting activated, fifth house is getting activated with Jupiter, 11th house is highly getting activated. First of all, either Capricorn individuals can go for marriage, their marriage is going to happen in this time, or they might have a child. There can be initiation of the process of having a child. I also see there can be, in a few cases, there can be shift of residence for these individuals also. Okay, but of course, now is the time your speech or communication. Actually, this is for both. This is for Sagittarius people also. They are going to use communication and their speech within their work. They have to be represented out in public so as to generate income. And same is for Capricorn ascendants also. Very much active on social media, very much available on social media, and wanting to express their work through communication. Okay, but definitely take care of your digestive system. It is going to ask your health. See, retrogration is happening here. It is going to fulfill some pending karma towards the first house. So you need to take care of your health also, especially your digestive system, since at the same time Jupiter is in the fifth and Sun is in the sixth. Now the last one would be Aquarius ascendant. Saturn is going retrograde within your own sign. So first of all, for Aquarius moon people, and also for Aquarius ascendant, but especially for Aquarius moon people, you people will feel that the burden of Sarasati is going to decrease a bit. So you might feel a little bit relieved from this burden of Sarasati. But it is going to make you go back towards what your situation was 2.5 years, not 2.5, but almost 1.5 years ago. You might, at that time, you might be becoming workaholic and working a lot towards something. So you would now again work, but also you would receive the recognition for it. There is some karma that is going to be that you are going to pay off in regards to 12th house matters, your subconscious, your spirituality. Sign of Leo in the 7th getting activated, sign of Scorpio in the 10th getting activated. There's going to be support that you will receive from people in general, from your, even from your bosses, but you have to work, you have to show them, prove them. But definitely Aquarius people, you are going to receive support from your career, from your bosses, if you are working into a job, and also from your love encounters or partnerships. There are some spiritual realizations that are going to come around. There are some expenses or debts, especially debts. If you might have taken debts, you might want to pay them off, and that all is going to happen in these 139 days. You will decide to just pay off your debts, to just get done with it. Okay, and it can also initiate a travel, but I don't see a permanent travel. Rather, I see it could be like travel which is contract based, or which is for a short while, right? Because I do see expenses happening. You are going to make expenses. You have also been very miser. You have also been accumulating money, right? Now you are going to spend it mostly on travel or your wishes, or your, maybe you have a wish list, maybe you have a travel list, and you would want to do that. Okay, guys. So this was my analysis about Saturn retrograde, how it is going to play out for all the ascendants. I hope this is going to help. If you guys are new to my channel, don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, and share. If you guys would like to have your personal reading from me, check out the link below, www.anmollastrology.com, and under the reading section, you can book a personal reading for yourself. And under the unique reading section, you can book a unique reading for yourself. Now, see you next time. Bye-bye. Take care.